Hey people, this is BIGBMH's take on Batman Part 2. This video, I'm going to be taking a look at some of the key events of The Dark Knight and talking about how I think they should affect the next movie. Since he's a vigilante, Batman's activities have been illegal since the beginning. However, opinion of Batman has changed throughout the series. When he first comes onto the scene, everybody thinks he's crazy and dangerous, so they try to arrest him. Now, at the beginning of The Dark Knight, he's been Batman for a few months. The city has seen all the good that he's done, so he has a pretty good relationship with the police. They allow him access to crime scenes, and they even let him interrogate the Joker. By the end of the movie, however, he's decided to take the blame for Harvey Dent's crimes, so everybody thinks he's a murderer. In the final scenes of The Dark Knight, you see Jim Gordon smashing the bat signal, and police chasing Batman down with dogs. Batman is now a wanted man, so his connection to the police is lost. The only person on the police force who knows the truth about Batman is Jim Gordon. Unfortunately, Gordon's position is going to force him to pretend like he's trying to bring Batman in. He's still going to try to help out Batman however he can, but he really has no method of contacting him anymore. So you have to wait for Batman to randomly show up. And these circumstances would probably put a lot of strain on the Gordon-Batman relationship. Gordon and the police department would probably be under a lot of pressure to figure out who Batman is and arrest him. As they get closer to finding Batman, Bruce would definitely feel a lot of stress and grow more paranoid. Rachel Dawes was the love of Bruce Wayne's life. They were friends since childhood, and she was one of the only people who really knew him. To Bruce, Rachel represented his hope for a future in which the city no longer needed him to be Batman. He intended to eventually retire from being Batman and marry her. In The Dark Knight, Harvey Dent represents Gotham City's hope for the future. When it came time for Bruce to decide between rescuing Rachel and rescuing Harvey, he really didn't hesitate. Gordon asked him which one he's going to save, and Batman's like, "Rachel, I believe in Harvey Dent, but, screw him." Okay, I may have added a little bit in there, but you get the point. In fact, he's choosing his personal life over the fate of the city. You can't really blame him. Unfortunately, the Joker switches the locations, so Rachel dies, and both Bruce and Harvey lose the woman they love. In The Dark Knight, we see how Harvey deals with the pain, but Bruce has a lot more that he has to deal with in the movie, so we really don't get to see him grieving. In the next movie, we should see just how much he was affected. With Rachel gone, Bruce really has no hope for happiness. When Batman begins in The Dark Knight, we really get the sense that Bruce intends for Batman to be a temporary thing. He wants to bring Gotham City to a point where it no longer needs him, so he can go on and live his life. Now he has really no hope for the future. At this point, he'd probably be feeling a mixture of depression and anger at the direction his life is taking. This would probably lead him to throw himself more into his work as Batman in an effort to deal with the pain. In The Dark Knight, we see how furious he gets when he finds out the Joker is placing Rachel in danger. It would probably make a lot of sense for this kind of anger and brutality to carry over into the way he now fights criminals. He wouldn't cross the line, but he'd push it pretty close. With the stress of the hunt on Batman and his grief over the loss of Rachel, I think it makes sense to take Bruce to a very dark place and low emotional point, and then tell the story of his recovery. Well, that's it for part 2. Thanks for watching. Please check out my full written version. I've posted a link over to the left, and keep an eye out for part 3. In that, I'm going to go into my ideas for villains for the next movie. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.